Here in a world where all hope seems lost, greater is He who resides in us. God, we stand unshaken.
Hey there, welcome to the sermon preview for this week. I'm Nick. I'm here with Jared Berkey, who is going to be bringing the message for us this Sunday. Really excited to see what God has laid on your heart and in store for us this week. Always wonderful to hear another voice on Sunday morning. Get tired of hearing my own voice. So looking forward to that. So before we jump into a picture of what we're going to be looking at this week, let's recap a little bit and see where we've been. So we're in our Unshaken series. This is week 5 of 8, which somehow we're already halfway through. That happens all the time where I'm just blown away how quickly it moves. But so there's been this movement in 1 Thessalonians where Paul he's writing to them, and there's this overall expression of like, Paul loves these people and he wants to be with them. And he is so excited how the gospel has impacted their lives and the change that he's seen from when he first met them to what he's hearing now, and how they have just been faithful in all of these things. And so it'd be interesting to see in your passage how he even builds on top of that idea as we go. So Jared, tell us what passage are we looking at, and maybe what are some of the things that we need to know?
Absolutely, yeah. So we're looking at chapter 4, verses 1 through 12. The title in most of the Bibles that I saw was either some play off of living in a way pleasing for God or living in a way holy for God. And so really, that's Paul's call to the Thessalonians. Hey, you guys are doing great with this little time that I got to spend with you. But here's the true will of God, is to live in a way that is sanctified or holy, set apart for Him.
So it's this idea of you've been doing a good job, but maybe we can get even deeper, even better in that. Which is kind of the call of holiness. Like we can never fully be completely holy or completely sanctified on our own by any means, but it's something we continue to work at through the grace of Jesus and the power of the Holy Spirit as we go. So what else do we see in this passage?
So the first section is really about holiness, and then he kind of makes a transition to a call for brotherly love. And so kind of playing off your sermon last week with relationships, he's continuing that theme of love. And he starts off in verse 10. He says, you guys aren't struggling with brotherly love, but continue to do it more and more. That calling to continuously love each other.
Deeper and deeper in that. So it's interesting that he makes that connection of like, you're not struggling with it now, but maybe you will in the future. And so like keep working at it now, so that in the future when that temptation is to not have brotherly love, then you don't fall into that temptation almost. Is an interesting, that's interesting way to look at it. So looking forward to what God has laid on your heart for this week. Jared, as people are preparing, what's maybe a question or a thought that they can reflect on leading up to Sunday?
I think following both of those sections is just looking at our lives and evaluating our lives and seeing where we're doing well, but we need to continue deeper and deeper in our walk with God to continue that.
Where do we need to go deeper? I think that's a question that's super important for us to ask, at least from time to time, if not frequently. Hey, I might feel like I'm doing really good in a certain area, but there's always more to go. There's always improvement, always an avenue of being closer and closer to Him, knowing more about Him. So, that's really, really good. So, I'm excited for this Sunday.
Super
it should
excited.
be great. All right, we'll see you there.
Nothing to fear in the battlefield. God is our